Hi guys, so this lesson is looking at how to clean a squid. This is probably, I think, one of the best lessons that you'll do. It's quite fun, but it's also quite disgusting, and it will probably gross quite a few of you out. It's pretty on par with the jointing chicken. I'm not sure if many of you have dealt with seafood before, but hopefully this will be a good experience for you. So to set up, I'd like to see you all using the blue chopping board. Remember that blue is for seafood, so we think of the colour blue reminds us of the ocean. I would like you to have a scrap bowl, and all of our seafood is going to go into that bowl. Now when you get rid of it, I would like you to put it in a plastic bag before you put it straight into the bins, because what we found in the past is that the bins get really smelly really quickly. Alrighty, so what we have here is some calamari. Now the very first thing that you need to do is try and get your fingers up inside the hood. You'll see here that the little eyes are here. We want to take all of that section out. So we want to try and pull out in one motion. So holding fairly firmly with the left hand the hood of the squid and just pulling out. Just try and get all of that muck out. Now you don't want to put your hands too far up the hood of the squid, because you might find some unpleasant things up there. In the past we've had fish or other things found in the hood, so just be really careful not to go fishing too high up in the hood. Okay, the next thing we need to do is take out this little clear plastic thing. This little clear plastic thing is called the quill, and it's essentially the backbone of the squid, which helps to hold it upright. Now often these can break off inside, so it's really important to take it out really slowly. And you can see here that mine's already broken, so in a little bit I'm going to have to try and find the rest of that quill. Alright, the next thing what we need to do is we're going to remove the skin of the squid. So to do that we need to get our fingers into the flaps here. We're going to need to pull all the way across, and you'll see here that the skin is peeling off really quite easily. We need to try and pull that all the way around. Like so. And then we have the tops come off, and then you should simply be able to pull straight down like so. And now you have the hood of the squid. Now we don't want to throw out these little wings. We're going to keep those, but we just take the skin off those as well, because it's edible, and we know that seafood is really expensive, so we don't want to throw out any of the squid. Alright, there we go. You might find that on the wings here there's a little bit of hard cartilage kind of stuff. If you don't want that, you can just chop it off. Just going to slice mine off. Okay, and I'm just going to put those to the side for the time being. Alright, now comes the fun part. So what we've got to do is get rid of all the innards of the hood. So best way to do that is hold it firm at one end. With the back of your knife you're going to squish all the way across. Now sometimes you'll get lots of gross things inside. That's what I said. If you might get a fish come out, you might get the ink sac come out, and that's okay. You want it all to come out. And another really important thing with this preparing a squid is just to keep your board relatively clean. So when you get all that inside stuff out, just give your board a wipe down. Now, not much of mine came out, so that's okay. I'm going to go back in there now and try and get the rest of that quill out. There we go. There's the top of it. Put that in your thing. Alright. Now what I'm going to do is just chop off the top a little bit, and I'm going to try and clean the inside of my calamari, because what you'll find is there's all this sticky membrane stuff in there, and what that does is when you're cooking, that's the stuff that gets really chewy. So if you've ever had calamari before and it's been really chewy, It's probably because the membrane hasn't come off fully. So you just want all of that membrane to come out. And it is really tricky when you're doing it with such a small hood. What you could do is slice one side of it, lay it out flat, and then you get your paper towel and you're going to rub across the squid. If you rub the same way as what the membrane is going, what's going to happen is you're just going to move that membrane from one place to another. If you're actually wanting to remove the membrane, then you need to rub across. So what you'll have to do is try and run some cold water in there just to clean it out. If the hoods are big enough, you can sometimes turn them inside out. Okay, so once that's clean, just give it a wipe over because you don't want it to be too slippery when you're trying to cut it. Give your little wings a wipe over as well. And I'm going to make 5 mil in thickness rings all the way across. Now making sure you slice this, don't try and hack it. And what you might be able to do if you couldn't get into the squid hood well enough, now that you've chopped it up, you can get your paper towel and just clean the inside of that to get rid of any more membrane. So put all your calamari ring into the flour. With the wings, what you're going to do is you're just going to score them a little bit. Now scoring means to make a small indent into the surface of a food. So you don't want to slice all the way through. You're just going to make small indents into the surface of the food and then back the other way. You often do this for like a roast ham or turkey or bit of meat, and what it does is it helps to tenderize your food. This part of the squid is also edible. Well, part of it is. So what we need to do is find the eyes of our squid. Now, just below the eyes, so you can see the eyes are here and here. Just below the eyes, we're going to chop through there, and you might hear a crack and you might go through the ink sac. That's okay. Just make sure you clean it up afterwards. Then there's this little thing inside the squid, which we call the beak. What we're going to do, you can see it here, it's a bit gross, it feels a bit like a shell. You're just going to pop that through that way to have it cleaned out. Then what you're going to do is just rinse those in some cold water. You can grab your paper towel. Okay, so let's get to cooking our calamari. So the first thing we're going to do is pour our 80 mils of oil into the frying pan. Now remember, we do this before we turn it on. Calamari should be cooked on a high heat for about 30 seconds to a minute. All right, so we're going to chuck it in, and the idea is to stir it pretty quickly. Just watch for any spitting oil. Now make sure you've got some paper towel ready. Just try and separate your calamari so it doesn't stick together. Give it a bit of a shake. Okay, put it straight onto your paper towel, let it soak. You can grab your plate. So if I grab this, might just have a bit of some salad on the side. That's generally a good thing for some calamari. Pop it into the center. And you can put your tartare sauce on the end. Tiny little bit of parsley just to garnish. You might like to put a wedge of lemon on your plate as well, just to add a little bit of extra flavour to that calamari.